Alright me babbers! My name is Yugi Bean and welcome to a Dark Magician deck profile. I've been playing this deck now for quite a long time, since the release of the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. I think this build is the best one that I can come up with. It has lots of recursion, lots of ways to get into your combo, and it's very consistent. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, give a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with our monster lineup. We're going to play 3 copies of Dark Magician. This is a staple 3 of in any Dark Magician deck. If you're going to play this deck, you do need to be playing 3 Dark Magicians in order to get the best resources you can for your plays. Next, we're going to play 1 copy of Red Eyes Bee Dragon and 1 Dark Magician Girl. This card is important because it allows us to get much more of our Soul Servant and also lets us play a Magician's combination for more negates later on from our combo. Next, we're going to play 3 copies of Magician Souls. This is a staple 3 of as well. This card is insane. It allows us to send Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl and allows us to summon one of those back to the field, or we can summon itself and use its effect to draw some cards by sending any spells or traps we don't want to use to the graveyard, so it's just a sick card to have. Next, we're going to play 3 copies of Magician's Rod. This is our normal summon for the deck. You want to be playing 3 of this. This will search us any of our Dark Magician spells or traps, and it allows us to get that access to Soul Servant and any other card we need to for our combo. So it's a sick card to have, and we need to be playing 3 of without question. Next, I play 2 copies of Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card is good, but not quite good at 3. The effect to boost the attack of any Dark Spellcaster that's battling is good, and the effect to search Dark Magician is good, but apart from that, it's not really used in playing due to the discard effect. I feel it's a little bit weaker than the other monsters. So playing 2 of this is, I think, standard for us. And then I'm playing 3 copies of Jester Confi. Now this card is really good. It is a free summon, and it's also a Dark Spellcaster, so it can be used as part of the engine for summoning Verte Anaconda, can be used for Allure of Darkness, and also used for the Secrets of Dark Magic. So it's a very good card to have, and it's not once per turn summon, so it's very, very handy. Finally, we're playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This card is a staple for the meta currently. With Drytron's now the best deck, it hits everything in Drytron, it hits the rogue options as well, so it is a really good card to have in your opening hand to stop those meta plays and able to get a better chance of winning those games. So that is the monster lineup for you. We're now going to look into our spells. So the spell lineup is looking like 3 Soul Servant. 3 Soul Servant is standard. This card is insane. It allows us to stack any of our Dark Magician cards, and it also gets us a draw effect equal to the number of Dark Magicians, Dark Magician Girls, or Palladium monsters in either graveyard or on the field. So if you go get someone playing Dragoon and they have Dark Magician graveyard, you already have a +1 from this card. It's sick to play. It's well worth playing. We're also playing 3 Allure of Darkness. This card is sick. It allows us to draw 2 cards and banish a dark monster, and since your entire deck apart from the Ash Blossoms are dark monsters, you're guaranteed to get a hit off this and get access to your combo pieces needed to carry on your plays. Next, we're playing 3 Dark Magic Veil. This card for me is a staple 3 of, because this allows us to recur any of our monsters apart from the Ash Blossoms, and that enables us to make a much more consistent combo. Not to mention that Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is itself a spellcaster, so this is a monster reborn for all Dark Spellcasters that allows us to get much more consistency and recursion from our cards, so I think it's definitely a staple 3 of. We're now going to play our 1-offs. We've got 1 Red Eyes Fusion, 1 Magicalized Fusion, 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, and 1 Dark Magical Circle. I feel that you're playing 1 Red Eyes Fusion, of course, for the Dragoon, and 1 Magicalized Fusion to make the second Dragoon on your follow-up turn if you haven't got access to the Red Eyes Fusion, or if you open the Red Eyes Fusion in your opening hand, you can use the Magicalized Fusion instead. The Secrets of Dark Magic is there to unbrick your hand if you open Dark Magician Girl, and the Dark Magical Circle is there because it's a very good card, but it's not good to see multiples of, and therefore you want to see the 1 of to allow you to get deeper into your deck and also banish cards every time you summon Dark Magician. So that is the spells lineup. And finally, we have our traps. We're going to play 1 Infinite Impermanence, 2 Infinite Impermanence, 3 Infinite Impermanence. This card, again, is like Ash Blossom. It hits all the meta. It allows you to also hit those rogue options that have been sort of floating around and making a bit of headway, like Prank Kids. If you Infinite Impermanence their normal summon, they tend to pass turn because they haven't got anything else to go by. So it's a really good card to have to hit those rogue and meta options that are currently floating about in this meta game. Next, we have 3 Solemn Strike. This card I favour over Solemn Judgment because this allows us to hit everything in Drytron, and it also prevents a lot of link summon plays that are happening in decks nowadays. With a lot of decks getting link support, this card is much more viable than Judgment and costs less life points, and also hits monster effects that are a lot more prevalent in today's meta game. So I think Strike is definitely much better than Judgment in that sense. And finally, we're playing the last 2 ops. We've got 1 Eternal Song and 1 Magician's Combination. I play this because we're playing Dark Magician Girl and we're able to get her to the graveyard or to our hand, and we have the Dark Magician on field. We're able to negate anything on the board, and it's negating the effect, not the activation, so it makes it a much stronger negate against cards like Lightning Storm and other things that say only activate once per turn. So this card is well worth playing if you're playing Dark Magician Girl. That is everything for our main deck. We're now going to go on to our extra deck. So, to begin with, for our extra deck, we're going to play 2 copies of Verte Anaconda. This is the reason Dragoon is so prevalent and powerful in today's metagame. This is a 2-card combo. You make any 2 monsters, you make Verte, you pay your life points, you get Dragoon. This should have been hit on the ban list, but it hasn't, so in the meantime we're going to play 2 and abuse it like hell. So 2 Anaconda. Next, I'm playing a lot of Link 1s. We're playing 1 Link Karibo, 1 Link Spider, 1 Imduk, and 1 Artemis. Now, I play the Artemis and the Link Karibo because this is for all level 4 or lower spellcasters, and this is just for level 1 monsters. We play the Imduk for Dark Magician and the Link Spider for Dark Magician, and this is a dragon as well, so it helps you with Magical Eyes Fusion if you do end up drawing your Red Eyes Fusion. So these cards are worth playing and definitely a one of, especially now you're playing Dark Magic Veil. Next, we have the rest of our Link monsters. We have 1 Wee Witch's Apprentice, 1 Selene, 1 Avramax, and 1 Access Code Talker. Now, we play the Access Code Talker and the Avramax because of Selene. Selene allows you to go into either of these monsters. If you're going first, you make the Avramax. If you're going second, you make the Access Code Talker. And if you have made the play of making the Verte Anaconda first and it gets negated, but you have a spare monster, you make the Selene, you then make the Access Code Talker, and you pop off and you win the game. So, again, really good cards to play, and definitely playing the Selene for your spellcaster engine. And then on to our fusion monsters. I am playing 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for obvious reasons. The card is insane, it's sick, it makes the deck a million times better, and on negate that gets more stronger the more it negates, and it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects or targeted at all by either card effect. It's a sick card that everyone should be playing. I am playing the 1 Dark Magician the Dragon Knight and the 1 Dark Magicians. I played this only to fill a spot. I feel that this could be changed potentially, but if you do have that grindy game against someone like some Terrors where you need to really keep your resources up to go, this is well worth playing to protect your back row. And I play this as the way to unbrick your hand, and it also allows you to get recursion and draw power if you play Soul Servant. It allows you to draw the cards you stack, and it also lets you set the trap. If you draw a trap or a quick play spell, you get a play at that turn as well. So this card is insane to have in your deck. And finally, the last card in my extra deck is 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. I only play this one at XYZ because I'm not summoning multiple Dark Magicians in one turn. I'm mainly focusing on the Verte play. So this is more for like a stun lock board if I end up having to go down that route with the opponent playing lots of card effects in order for them to beat my deck. So just the 1 card of this. And that is the extra deck all sorted. Now, finally, we're going on to the side deck. Now, the side deck is pretty standard for sort of slower rogue decks, I guess. We're playing 3 Nibiru. This card is a must-have. It stops all combo decks and punishes those who overextend and really sort of go too far over their plays. I think it's definitely a card you need to have in your side deck. It hits so many decks. It's just worth playing. Really, really worth playing big time. Next, we have 3 Dark Ruler No More. Again, a bit like Nibiru, this card completely obliterates combo decks. If they overextend, they make too big of a board, and they have no recursion next turn. You play this, you break the board, you win the game. So definitely playing Dark Ruler No More. I am playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, I've decided to keep this rather than Dark Magic Attack, because whilst the Dark Magic Attack is searchable, it has much more requirements to it. You have to have a Dark Magician on board and the Dark Magic Attack, whereas this you only have to play the card and you've got the effect. And also, because you only play 1 of each, you're much rather likely to pull this and play it than you are to pull the Dark Magic Attack and have the Dark Magician on board. So this definitely over Dark Magic Attack. I'm then playing 2 Torrential Tribute. This is because that a lot of decks overextend, and if they do and you play this and they wipe their board, they have nowhere to come back. This is especially true for things like Prank Kits, where they're playing a lot of monsters with no protection. You wipe their board, they have nothing left, they pass turn. So this card can be a massive blowout for some decks, but also it affects your monsters, so you want to be a little bit careful about how you play this card. So I think 2 is perfectly enough. We have 3 evenly matched. This card is a bonkers card. I've played it in my side deck ever since it got printed. It's well worth playing. It's a blowout. If you combine it with Dark Ruler No More, and they have no negates for this, you lose their entire board, and then you can make your board create dominance and sustain the match, and then you win that game. It's easy. This card is so sick and definitely worth playing. And then finally, we're playing 3 Solemn Judgment. Now, I'm playing the Judgment as well as the Strikes because it allows you to have that flexibility against certain decks. If you go against a rogue option and they're playing lots of monster effects, you're going to play the Strike. And of course, the meta decks nowadays are Drytron, and Drytron has a lot of monster effects. But if you come across a deck like Eldritch, or you come across Altergeist, you want the Judgment to be able to negate those trap cards to really prevent your opponent from doing anything during your turn. So definitely playing Judgment because it is a sick card to negate those back row decks. So that is the deck list for you guys. I'm now going to show you 2 combos. The first one is your very standard 2-card combo to make a Awrite Anaconda. And the second one is going to be a little combo that I like to play in this deck that allows you to get a bit more protection for your back row and your monsters and get a couple more negates on board for you. So here we go, combo time. So for this first combo, it is a 2-card combo, and it involves any 2 ways of summoning any 2 monsters. For this example, I'm going to use Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls. So, to begin with, we're going to normal summon Magician's Rod and activate its effect to add to our hand the Soul Servant. Now, we're going to activate Magician's Souls effect in hand to send to the graveyard Dark Magician Girl, and then we're going to summon souls from our hand to the field. We're then going to link summon these 2 into Predaplant, Awrite Anaconda, activate its effect by paying the 2,000 life points and sending as cost the Red Eyes Fusion, and then resolving that, we're going to send the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes Black Dragon in order to summon out the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon just there. That is your basic combo, and then from here, you're able to activate Soul Servant and stack whatever you want, and then when it's in the graveyard, you get to banish it from grave and draw 2 cards. So that is your basic combo, and now I'm going to show you the second combo that I use in this deck specifically that allows you to get a lot more support and a lot more protection from decks and other cards that are going to end up destroying your entire back row. So here we go for combo 2. Now, for this next combo, this is going to involve 3 cards: Magician's Rod, Magician's Souls, and Dark Magic Veil. And this is why I play this card. You're going to see how this all works in a second. I've also got the 2 other cards here for your other part of your hand there just for later on. So, we're going to start, like before, by normally summoning Magician's Rod. We're going to activate its effect and add to our hand the Soul Servant. We're then going to activate Magician's Soul's effect by sending the Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard and then summoning souls from our hand. Now, we're going to activate Dark Magic Veil here and summon back the Dark Magician Girl in defense mode. And then from here, we're going to link off the Souls and the Rod to make the Awrite Anaconda, and then activate the effect of Awrite Anaconda, paying the 2,000 and sending the Red Eyes Fusion to fuse together the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon like before. Now, this time, we're going to activate Soul Servant and stack to the top of our deck the Magician's Combination. We're going to get our deck shuffled, put this on top, and then from here we're going to banish this card and draw 2 cards, one of which is that combination. Now, the reason you do this combo is that the combination allows you to prevent your back row from being destroyed. If they play Lightning Storm, for example, and you have this set up where you've got the combination set, if they play it and you chain the combination, they cannot activate a second Lightning Storm because of the wording of combination. So this protects you from cards that say activate rather than use, which is a very good thing to have. And of course, you've also got your Dragoon Negate with your 3 spare cards in hand, and these could be anything. It could be an Ash Blossom, it could be an Impermanence you haven't set yet, it could be an Allure of Darkness, any way of getting into more recursion. So that to me is my bog standard way of playing this version of the deck, because again, having the combination as protection is a lot better than having no combination, because that allows you to prevent the effects of Lightning Storm and other back row cards from wiping you out completely. The reason we also put this in defense mode is because of Lightning Storm. If we had it in attack mode, we would have to force this out to stop the Lightning Storm from going from the front row, because if we let that go through, we lose. This combination is now dead because this is no longer on board. So if we have just this board here and they say monsters, we leave it because this stays alive, so this will go to grave, and then this will survive as well because of its effect. So that is your end board there. And there are many ways to get to this board. Sometimes you end up opening Rod and Gesture Confit and Souls, in which case, rather than sending Souls from the hand, you send the Souls to the graveyard and summon this out instead of reaching Dark Magic Veil. So there's a couple ways to go about it, but this for me feels like the strong, best way of playing this deck. So that is the combo for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll be back with a few more videos of dueling and more deck profiles. In the meantime, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Ta-ra!